A lot of beautiful angles to this one today. This one's a kind of a fancy one, you know? This one's a little bit fancy. Where do we start with? Okay, the name, Saison, right? So basically, if you're familiar with the Michelin Guide and you're familiar with the 50 best restaurants in the world, the restaurant Saison in San Francisco is part of that list. It's considered one of the greatest restaurants on the planet. The former chef, Skanes, brought hearth cooking to Michelin and was basically the king of hearth cooking. And the wine guy, he's a little more than that, huh? The gentleman who worked with him to make Saison what it was, a gentleman by the name of Mark Bright, started his career as a super, as they say around here, sommelier, that he really cut his teeth at the best places. You know, Mina and all these guys. And then he hooked up with Saison, and then the rest was history. Basically, Saison's wine and food program is still today one of the best in the world. Now, a few years back, you know, this is, maybe 2015, about 10 years ago, Mark got the itch, like a lot of sommeliers do, to make wine. Why not make your own wine? Why not have the Saison group's own wine? Which, by the way, these guys, you know, if you ever heard of Angler, if you ever heard of, they got a full like wine facility down in downtown San Francisco. They're a big group. And Mark was like, well, let's make some wine for the group, like super high quality gear. And of course, his partners were like, yeah, cool. So he started on the endeavor of making the Saison wines. And these are really good. I mean, he is obviously a super informed palate. And accordingly, these wines taste regal. They taste fancy. They taste informed. And the funny thing is, we got sent a sample by a supplier for this wine. And at the time, we didn't really make the connection. It's like, oh, Saison, gosh, how many wines are probably named Saison and da-da-da, season in French. Okay, got you. And it was only kind of after we tasted the wine, we're like, wow, this is really good. And we did the deal. We didn't research it, but we did the deal to procure the wine. And then it was only after that, it was like, oh, it's this Saison. And it's like, whoa, okay, cool beans. Now, they're located in San Fran. They wanted to keep the wines local, and Mark had a real affinity for the Santa Cruz Mountains area. All, or if not almost all, of their gear is sourced from the Santa Cruz Mountains, from single vineyard sites. And today we're featuring the 2017 Pinot Noir Santa Cruz Mountains Regan Vineyard, which in Corralitos section of Santa Cruz. Beautiful site, 25, 30-year-old vines, I think, and just a beautiful spot for Pinot Noir. Between the soils, the ocean climate coming in, the elevation, it makes for really beautiful, silky yet earthy, classic kind of Burgundian-inspired Pinot Noir that really lit us up. This is, see that beautiful color, you know, that's really ethereal, kind of see-through, transparent, gorgeous color. For all you like alcohol geeks, look at the alcohol in a bottle of wine. The alcohol here is 12:1. Really, really amazing, almost like an In Pursuit of Balance type alcohol component. But where some of those wines go astray with the quality of fruit in the mid-palate, this wine does the opposite. It delivers this wonderful silky blast of like macerated strawberry fruit in the mid-palate. Man, in case you didn't notice, we already started drinking it before the thing started because this wine. The silkiness of the tannin. 2017 was a hot year. But if you're in the Santa Cruz Mountains, it ain't so hot. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Pinot Noir and Chardonnay excels in this area, because even in those warm years, you can bring this wine in at this kind of alcohol level, but with this wonderful core of fruit in the center palate. Just wicked good. Another interesting story here. I don't know if this wine really got pressed because I think the press was happening right around COVID time. You know, I saw a score for their 2017 Merlot from the Regan Vineyard, and it was from February of 2020. So right when everything blew up, I think probably the Galonis and these kind of guys were getting ready to go visit and do their Santa Cruz Mountain report, and it didn't happen. The Merlot, by the way, was 92 points. It's really good. The Pinot Noir is better. So I'm really intrigued by the layers of this story. You got the Saison group, you got Mark Bright, talented dude, you got the fact that maybe the critics just didn't come at the right time, and then you had no restaurants going, right? So you got this new release of wine, and all of a sudden you're like, WTF, do I sell it? Where do I sell it? And then the wave kind of breaks, right? And then, like, it's there. The wine is there. Remarkable. Anyway, because of this wonderful, well, not so wonderful confluence of events, we're able to secure 28 cases of this wine at an amazing price. $48 retail on their site. We're getting it to you today at $19.98 a bottle. Yeah, it's not posted. You'll see the price when you get the checkout. You know, if you can't enjoy the $350 fixed price menu at Saison, well, you can have the next best thing. You can have their beautiful $50 Pinot Noir for